Hi everybody, so my name is Mariah. Welcome to my channel. I just wanted to create a series where I describe my challenges with HHT and how that affects my life on a day-to-day basis and what that means for me in the future. So I kind of want to split it into a couple different parts. The first one being kind of my history. So finding out about it, what led to that, surgeries after, where I went, that sort of thing. And then I kind of want to do something where I'm describing an event like, so today this happened and this is how I dealt with it, something like that. And there's fluffies on the lens here. Okay. So just some different parts. And really, I don't want to do a whole bunch of editing or anything like that because I want them to be somewhat raw videos, something that people can connect with, something that can be understandable, I guess, just because it is something that most people don't know about, and I don't want to seem like I'm fabricating anything or I'm faking anything because this is all very real to me. And the big thing about HHT and my story that I'm going to tell is, visibly on the outside, for the most part, you can't see the effects. I am not losing my hair. I don't have lost limbs due to it. I'm sure that there are some people who have had problems and have had to have amputations, or so be it, because of HHT, but for me, almost everything is internal. So, but because of that, it doesn't mean that what I'm feeling isn't real. Doesn't mean that I don't have struggles. And it's real. It's out there. You can look it up yourself. I'll give you a definition of what it means, but, it's not like I'm faking anything. So I guess I'll start off with what is HHT. So it stands for hereditary hemorrhagic telangiectasia, and like the name suggests, it's passed down through your family. And let's see, I want to find a good website here. I guess I'll just go to the Mayo Clinic. So it's a disorder that affects blood vessels. It can cause bleeding in the digestive tract, anemia, increased risk of stroke, and other symptoms. In most cases, hereditary hemorrhagic telangiectasia isn't life-threatening and symptoms can be effectively managed. So there's that. It's also known as Osweiler-Weber-Rendu disease. Some of the networks of blood vessels that join arteries to veins aren't correctly formed. In small blood vessels, these abnormalities are called telangiectasias. When they occur in larger vessels, they're called arteriovenous malformations, or AVMs. And a lot of people have PAVMs, which is pulmonary, so in the lungs. And that is something that I have personally dealt with. So I guess dealing with it for me, for a long time, I was by myself, and to some extent I still am, and how I have to deal with this. I recently found a Facebook group called HHT Next Gen, and it's for kids up to 30 who have the disorder or know somebody, mostly for people who have it, to kind of share their story. And, I've had this my whole life, basically. And for a long time, for about 3 years, I thought, I knew there was other people out there, but I didn't know anybody personally who really dealt with it on the same level. Because, of course, I got it from my father, and my sister also has it, but thank God that they don't have it to the same extent. So, I'm on a collegiate track team, and so dealing with this is something that happens every day. I go to weightlifting, I go to practice, I condition, all those things. So it's something I am constantly thinking about. When I run and I'm working out, sometimes I get dizzy. Sometimes I lose feeling to my limbs. I start hallucinating. I feel pain everywhere, basically in my chest, in my head, in my legs. I know a lot of times when I'm running, I'm sprinting, I'm running up the stairs, common things that we do on our team, I have a lot of trouble, and I have to take it slower than everybody else. And I have a hard time, like, I know what my limits are for the most part, but I never put the brakes on so much. So I will push myself, and then I'll get to the point where, time out. I have to stop what I'm doing right now and take a second, because things could go south pretty quickly. And man, yeah. Especially when I'm running up the stairs, I have a problem with my legs. It's not pain, because I know the difference between pain of your legs just being tired from running upstairs, and this is sort of different pain. It's not the acidity in the legs that you get when you work out and your body is releasing those acids into your muscles. It's not that sort of acid pain. It's a pain where basically my muscles are shutting down. My whole body is just shutting down, and I'm trying to cope with that. And a lot of stuff I still don't know. It's a mystery to me. I don't know if what's happening, on my nerve endings are just going crazy. I don't know if it's because I'm not getting enough oxygen. Those are all very real things that could be, and something I probably don't even know about. And that is part of the scary thing, is because it is so unknown. There's not a whole bunch of research on it. You just have to live with it. I don't get medications to help me with anything. I've had a couple surgeries to fix one of my PAVMs, and I'll talk about that in a different video, but there's nothing I can do for it. It's not like I can just continually go in the doctor, they do some sort of therapy, I get out, and something's better. That's just not what it is. I don't know, it's really hard, and a lot of times before bed, stuff that rolls through my mind is, okay, what's going to happen in the morning? Am I going to have a stroke? Am I going to start bleeding profusely from my nose? Because I already get really bad nosebleeds. Am I going to start bleeding from my mouth? Am I just going to completely lose consciousness while I'm working out, and because of that, get some sort of other injury, hit my head on a weight, or, crush myself with a weight, or fall on the stairs. And it sucks not knowing. I mean, I know nobody knows what tomorrow is going to bring, but this has definitely made me question that to a whole nother extent. I don't know. And sometimes I have problems when I'm not even working out. It's just a day-to-day thing. Maybe I'll just be sitting in class and all of a sudden I don't remember what I'm doing. I completely forget. It's zoning out to a whole nother level. And part of it is I'm scared of being alone if something happened. Because at this point, I have become, I guess, I'm not afraid to die as much as I am to have something so serious happen that I become absolutely paralyzed, or I turn into a vegetable pretty much, or I go into a coma, because to me that's not living. And as an athletic person, that is something really hard to deal with and to think about every day, every night. You know, what is the next day gonna bring? And it's hard because nobody understands it. People sometimes sympathize or try to empathize with me. Most of the time it's just sympathy, and if you don't know the difference, look it up. But I've dealt with people just thinking I'm being lazy, I'm not working hard, and that really sucks because I have to work 10 times harder than everybody else just to achieve the same results. And nobody gets that. And it's hard in an atmosphere where you feel like you should connect with people on some sort of level, you know, like, okay, I'm a thrower, I should be able to connect with these people on some sort of level, but, you know, I'm separated from that because of this condition that's holding me back. And that really sucks, like, for how hard I work. If, you know, I didn't have these barriers, I know that I could be so much better. And, you know, I want to live to an old age, and I want to have my own kids someday, but that's something that has basically been in question or completely thrown out just because I don't want somebody to deal with the same things that I've been dealing with. And it's hard to describe to you on camera everything that I'm feeling, and what I go through. So that is why I'm gonna try and make a series. That way, you know, maybe after something happens, I can describe it shortly after, and then in that way it makes more sense. It's frustrating, and I'm just mad, mostly. I'm just angry. Because I don't want to leave my family behind, and I have a younger sister, and I don't want to leave her behind. And I don't want people taking care of me. That's part of the problem I have, is I don't like asking for help, and I don't like having somebody to take care of me, and I don't like attention on myself, which I'm sure some people watching think I'm making this video for attention, and that's not it. I don't want attention to myself, I want attention to disease. I want people out there who can figure it out, who can figure out a cure and help people like me and who have it worse. Like on this Facebook page, I was reading how some other people, they can't even exercise because they get migraines so bad every time they do. Or this girl's mother has to have blood transfusions all the time. or they've had siblings or parents die because of it. And some of them are really young. There was one girl whose sister died at 6. I mean, dear God. And I watched this kind of almost documentary one time about this kid who played college basketball, and he was 20 years old, and he had a stroke, and it affected his motor skills pretty severely, and he couldn't play basketball again to the same level. And that scares me because it's real and it's out there, and you know, I'm 19, almost 20, and thinking about having a stroke at 20 years old, that's kind of terrifying, you know, and because, you know, nobody really know about it, you know, oh, there you go, bloody nose, god damn it, I'll be right back. Okay, that happens all the time. Just randomly get a bloody nose. But the fact that, you know, they don't know about it, you know, can they help me? Are they gonna know to call 911 or get the coach, you know, somebody to help me out? I just want people to believe me, you know? That would help so much, is if people just freaking believe me. Because I'm not making any of this up. I don't know why I would. Like, what's the point of all this pain? Because there's really nothing good that comes out of it. And I don't want anybody to have this. So, yeah, you know, like I said, sometimes it just happens when I'm not even exercising. I've been driving down the road before and I almost pass out. So that sucks. And for a person who has already dealt with depression for a really long time, this just really stacks on there, you know? So yeah, I'm gonna end this video here, and try and film, you know, kind of my history with it, and kind of regroup and start filming some more videos when stuff happens or there's an advancement that comes out. So thank you for watching, and please share this. You know, if any of this information sounds similar to you, sounds familiar, whatever, you know, contact your doctor or let somebody know about that and tell them to contact their doctor. You know, the sooner you find out, the better. So, you know, thanks again, and hope you watch my other videos. Bye.